Hi, all you SPMEs out there. Today's video has 3 points, and you're going to want to stick around because the third point is a secret as to exactly what you need to do to increase the amount of money you're making on each and every one of the books that you're self-publishing. So let's get into it. The topic of today's video is, how much money does my self-published book earn? Now, this is an outstanding question. When you're first getting started with self-publishing, or even if you've been doing it a while, you start to look at the earnings that you're getting on each of your books. And for most self-published authors, when you first get started, you're not making very much money on the books that you're putting onto the market. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, for a lot of people, you're thinking, my book is different. It is so high quality. It is something that everybody's going to want to read. And listen, I'm not denying that you probably do, in fact, have incredibly high quality books that you've written, and that your audience would indeed love to read them if you found your audience. And therein is the question. Where exactly is your audience? Do you already have this following of avid readers who love everything that you're writing and wanting to buy it? Because if they don't exist already, those people are not there. It doesn't mean those people don't exist. It just means you have not gathered them together, like a shepherd going out and pulling your sheep in and finding that audience who love to read what you write. And I'm telling you, there is an audience almost for any single type of author, of people who are going to want to read the material that you're writing. But as you're writing, you're getting paid for these books, but maybe it's nowhere near as much money as you wish you'd make, or that you feel you deserve to make. And that is what we are going to explore in today's video. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. And I can tell you, after putting out 200 books myself onto the market under different pen names and different genres and things like that, I can tell you I've found over the years a number of the key things that are necessary to win the self-publishing game. And if you'd like to check them out, then go ahead and look below in the description, grab a copy of my absolutely free self-publishing checklist secrets, and you will get exactly right in on what exactly the tricks that I have used and discovered that work the best when it comes to pushing and moving sales for your books. Because as I mentioned before, there's an audience who wants to read them. And do me a favor, please, if you find this video useful, hit the subscribe button, because that will help me reach even more self-publishers or authors who wish to self-publish, and that is what this channel is all about. So let's get into it. From my own story, when I first got started publishing, in terms of the money side of things, my goal was very simple. I wanted to make $1 a day. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, $1 a day, that's terrible. Well, go ahead and put a book out there and see what happens. Just write a book, put it onto Amazon, and then see what happens. And the answer is, you start to discover that they do not start selling automatically. You could be like, but it was a good book. Well, okay, just throw it out there, put any old cover on there, pick a title, write on something you're interested in, and see what happens. Because you will not be making $1 a day. You'll be making less than $1 a day, most likely for the book, if we haven't done the right steps. But that was my goal, was making $1 a day. And I was able to achieve this with my first book and my second book. I started seeing the money coming in very slowly. But then the problem is that after the books had been released a while, Amazon quits pushing your books in front of new readers, because guess what? There's a ton of other books out there on the market that Amazon is excited to push instead of yours. So it's a sad fact, but all books that you write will begin to die out over time, and that can be very frustrating. This is even more frustrating if, when you first put your book on the market, it's only making like maybe 50 cents a day, $1 a day, something along those lines, especially if you had such intentions. I know some of my students had even asked the question and said, well, shouldn't I buy a garage full of books, because so many of these books are going to be selling almost immediately. You cannot even believe how many books that are going to be selling. Because why? Because you have an audience? Because you've done the marketing? Because you understand optimizing the book? No, because the book is high quality. And my question is very simple. How many self-publishers have you met who managed to just unbelievable, so many sales? How am I going to handle all the people who are writing to me and the emails and all of these things? And the answer is, it just doesn't work that way. I've never met a single self-publisher who, an author, they write their book, they put it on the market, and then, oh my goodness, it's just making a killing right from the start. That is like winning the lottery here. But maybe you're the exception to the rule. If you are, let me know below in the comments. But otherwise, I don't think I've ever met a self-publisher who puts a book on the market without learning all of the skills necessary to get it to sell, and then it just starts selling because it's such a high-quality book. In fact, that's the depressing little secret here, which is that high-quality books aren't what sell the book. What gets the book to sell in the first place is, well, I'll get into that. That's part of the secret. But the thing is for myself, I couldn't figure out what to do next. I thought maybe the self-publishing thing wasn't right for me. I had tried a number of books. I wasn't seeing that much traction. I was making some mistakes, some really big mistakes, but I was thinking I'm doing things the correct way. I was even following a lot of the patterns and the rules around self-publishing to make sure I wasn't screwing it up. But I learned about optimizing your books, and that was a key thing, which I'll hit a little bit later on our third secret tip of the day. And I also learned about marketing and the combination between optimizing our books and marketing the books, devastatingly powerful. And what happened was I started seeing my sales start jumping, where you would have individual books suddenly selling $1,000 in royalties a month. It was unbelievable. I could not even believe when I saw that. Now, okay, I've been around enough self-publishers who have hit the lottery and some who are really hard workers. Now for me, I would say I'm a medium hard worker, but I mean, I'm not going to tell you I'm the hardest worker on the planet when it comes to self-publishing, but these people were pumping out a lot of books and making even much higher sales than what I was making. They were really implementing, but that's one of the things. They were optimizing their books. They were doing hardcore marketing and even getting able to see even better sales. But if you already are making sales, thousands and thousands of dollars off of the books on a monthly basis that you're putting out, well, maybe there's something here for you. But usually what's interesting is a lot of the things with self-publishing, it's not about doing this if you do these 50 tricks, then you'll have everything down. It's about small improvements and finding the things that work for you. And you're probably wondering, what is optimizing? What is marketing? These are questions that I get an awful lot, but we'll get into that in a bit. So, how much money does my self-published book earn? Well, I already told you some of them were making 50 cents a day and some were making $1,000 a day. But what's the difference? Well, the median income when we're looking on Amazon is less than $5,000 a year for a self-published author. These authors are breaking the rules. So they're not following the things that are the best practices for self-publishing. 20% of all self-publishers are earning no income. They expected they would be making a killing with this whole self-publishing game, but they're making absolutely no income at all. And it's very depressing in some ways because you start off with it all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to make a killing on the market with your amazing book, and I'm not even saying it's not an amazing book. I know you out there have amazing books. You're very creative people. You have all sorts of amazing writing that people would love to read if you just found the right people. And that's the reason you're not getting the people to even give your book a chance. But the fact is, you had 2% of people earning over $100,000 a year. And those people also have something in common, which I will hit in today's secret point of the day. So our third point of the day, the secret point we're going to look at today, is there are a few huge differences between the winners and the losers. That's that 2% versus the 20% making no sales at all. The number one is optimize books. I mentioned it before. We need to get our covers looking like the top sellers in our genre that we're writing in. In the genre that we're writing in, we want to make sure the top sellers, our book does not look that different. We're using keywords that match along with what the best sellers are doing in our genre or a niche. I use a tool called KDSpy in order to help me with that, and also Publisher Rocket. You can find my affiliate links in the description. Then we had our description, we have our title, we have the keywords, right? That's the whole point of these, is to get people to click and to buy our book. Then comes the marketing. When they buy the book, we want to ensure that those people are actually going to get on our email list. So we are inviting them onto our email list so that we can continue to market and let them know of the latest books. This is going to especially draw in the people who really like and enjoy the books that you've come out with. So we do not want to downplay the importance of targeting that specific market of people, and we want to be able to get their email addresses using our book as a way of generating those leads when it comes to the marketing. In addition, on the marketing, we can do paid ads I would not recommend anything other than just Amazon at this point for your paid ads until you get the hang of it. Then we can expand to Facebook and Google and other places. But Amazon is by far the best place you're going to want to start when it comes to ads. And sometimes I meet authors and they're like, how do I run ads? And I'm like, oh my goodness, are you losing out a lot of money by not pushing Amazon ads? I wish I had started earlier. I can tell you when I first started, I immediately started making money on the ads, almost immediately. They're so simple to set up, to get going, and then we just see what happens, okay? Now, it is a little bit trickier nowadays than it was in the old days, but still, they are a key aspect to the number of sales that I generate on a monthly basis when it comes to self-publishing. The other option on the marketing front is using something I think is fantastic. It is content marketing. In fact, I'm using it right now. You're listening to me give you content for absolutely free. I'm giving you everything I have. All of the lessons that I've learned over the years and years that I've been self-publishing and helping hundreds of students through the ups and downs of self-publishing, giving it away for free in exchange for a little bit of attention. And if you would grab my free self-publishing checklist, check out my courses. For example, I have a course on content marketing, which is what I'm doing right now, except doing it on your subject. If you're fiction, then we're giving out little bits of short stories of your thing on your website or on others' on your blogs. Or if you're nonfiction, like you're doing puppy training, that's a favorite genre of mine, a niche that I really enjoy, then we're teaching people how to train their puppies. And at the same time, we're writing books on that subject. We have a website on that subject. We're running blogs. We have a podcast. We have YouTube videos. There's all sorts of things we can do. And the cool part of this is that the traffic, we aren't paying for it. We do, of course, have to set up a website and or a YouTube channel, but in reality, it costs absolutely nothing. So if you're interested in content marketing, you definitely are going to want to check out my course where I show you exactly step by step how easy it is. Content marketing made easy below in the description. Go ahead and check that out if you're looking to improve on your marketing. And I'm telling you, content marketing is a lot cheaper than paid marketing. So, which is strange. And it's not just cheaper in the sense of how much you pay, but you're going to get a much bigger return on investment. It's a slower game, but you can build up an audience over a period of time, just like I'm doing on this YouTube channel with 300 plus videos produced. The other thing to remember is that we want to continue to write more books. That is probably the best piece of advice. We keep on, well, we just learned all of this stuff about the first book, but don't we need to make the first book perfect? No, we need to write the next book. We need to get that next book on the market. And remember, I'm not talking, as I've told students before, we're not discussing the idea of putting garbage on the market. We're saying putting okay or good books on the market. That's it. Not perfect books. In fact, if you're waiting to put a perfect book on the market, it's never going to happen. And even if you did magically get one on, it still won't sell, because the key is having multiple books so that we're driving people to a library of books that we're building up over time. The average self-publisher was using two to three books per year, compared to the traditional publishers, we're using 2 to 3 years per book. Now, I want you to think about that. Just think about that for a second. This huge amount of book production that you can do, and if you're making more money, a higher percentage off of each book, and you're getting better with the process on marketing and selling and creating these books on a regular basis, just think of the potential that you're missing because you're trying to make the book perfect. So write more books. The winners write lots of books. That's what happens. Put them in series, put them in bundles, all sorts of stuff that we can do with these books that will help you increase your royalties and help you in reality, help your audience find you. And I'm telling you, you have an audience that's out there. They want to read the books that you're producing, but you're making it difficult for them. When are you going to make it easy for them to find you so that they can start consuming? These are avarice readers. These are people who cannot get enough of your content. They just need to know you exist. And so make it easy for them. Lots of books. You're putting out regular books on a regular basis. You're writing every single day. We're putting these out. We're marketing these books, and we're continuing this process over and over as we build an audience of readers and having them on our email list. And the final thing is we're just going to improve these steps as we continue through it. My goal for you is that you would be making $1,000 a month on your books, not making 50 cents a day on your books, which is quite a bit of a difference when it comes to making money from book to book. So, are you beating the average amount of royalties on book sales? Are you making more than $10,000 a month as the median sale? If you are, write yes below in the comments. And if you're not, you're doing below that, then write no below in the comments so you can help me better understand where you are coming from on this whole self-publishing game. And check up above me here for more video answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.